All right, so I need to jump on this interview, which is starting in 3 minutes. This is a live interview, so we're gonna have people live on the line. I'm doing this for Jen Scalia. Jen is a multi six-figure, she's gonna be a 7-figure entrepreneur this year. She's extremely successful and well-known. She's a client of mine, and it's been an incredible honor to watch her journey and work with her. And she built her business from $0 to $500,000 in the first 12 months. She's been featured in Forbes, in Business Insider, in Entrepreneur. She's spoken at an amazing event in New York last week, and I've had the opportunity to hang out with her in Bali as well. And she came over to Bali with Regan and with myself and Melissa Wells, who runs the Goddess Academy, and she's amazing. And we just had a week together, basically like high-level entrepreneur brainstorming. So that was in November, I believe it was. So it's really cool to get to meet people in person from time to time. So let me stop talking and dial in though, because her clients are going to be on the line, and obviously I don't want to be late for them. So let's dial in. So this is a call for Jen's Inner Circle, her high-level mastermind, and she's bringing me in as a guest expert. I don't want to do it as an event. Like, I've got a kick-ass suite at the W in New York, and I want to do it in the suite and just have a really intimate, private day, and obviously like luxury, and have some amazing food and wine, and just really thought about, you know, who I want to work with and the level of women that I want to be working with, and just being able to spend that day getting deep into a conversation about what it's going to take, rather than going, oh, I'm doing an event. I don't want to do an event. I just want to do essentially VIP intimate day, but in a semi-private setting as opposed to one person. I've written and completed around 60 books, and there's, I believe, 44 or 45 that are published so far on Amazon on the Kindle platform. And then there's like 10 to 15 more that my poor editor is trying to work her way through at the moment that are completed and they're not published yet. And then there's about, and I'm not kidding here, there's about 80 to 100 more that are drafted out, like the overview and the nuts and bolts of what I want to cover. 90% of the time, or even 95% of the time, I don't even get to my list or even most of my daily tasks, because I just end up in content mode all day. And I just kind of go with the flow with content and spend my time and my energy on that, because I get caught up in it, and because it is what I love. And then next thing, like it's the end of the day, and you know, I might have calls and interviews and webinars and that sort of thing going on as well. But meanwhile, it will get to like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even look at my list again. In theory, I have Sundays off as a kind of like a rest day or a reflection day or family day as well. Even then though, like I'll usually get to about 5 p.m. and I'm like getting really kind of itchy and sort of wound up, and I feel like, I just need to like sort everything out and clear the slate for the week ahead. But I don't do much on a Sunday. I think I honestly just thought, because Tony Robbins says you can achieve anything you set your mind to, that I would just automatically achieve it. But I didn't really think about the fact that I was going to have to actively make it happen and put myself out there. And so I had like a whole bunch of stuff happen in my mid to late 20s, kind of like a quarter life crisis and first marriage breakdown and things like that. And I just had to sit there and go, okay, well, if you're not careful, next thing you're going to be 30 years old and you won't have actually taken action on all those goals. I know that, like, okay, now I'm 36, so 30 seems quite young, but when you're 26, 27, 30 seems like that kind of magical age where you should have your shit together and have all your dreams in your life accomplished. And I just really realized that I'm not on a path to actually achieving what I said I wanted to achieve, and so I need to wake up and start taking action. So I basically made a conscious choice to get over the perfectionist thing, and to get over never feeling ready, and to just start actively hustling, even though I had no clue how to do that right at the time. But it was just a commitment to figuring it out more than anything. I mean, yeah, I guess I've learned a whole bunch of stuff along the way, just by having to figure it out, to be honest, is mainly how I've done it. I've pretty much put myself in a position where, like, I might have promised something to my audience at a certain date and said, well, this course is going live, or this book is going live, or something like that. And I had no freaking clue how to do it, but then I had to follow through because I'd made myself accountable to my audience. So all of my online stuff, like the first courses that I created online, or the first ebook that my first online product was an ebook, because that was what it was all about back in 2007, 2008. And even with that very first thing, I promised my audience that the book was going to launch on a particular date. And I mean, I'd been writing the book and working on it, but I kind of forced myself to have to follow through and make it happen by that date. But also, I had no clue at the time on the tech side of it or the logistical side of it, like how do you turn a Word document into an ebook, and then how do I actually deliver it to people. I have had mentors since I was in my early 20s that I like before it was really even a thing, or not that I was aware of. I don't know, I actively reached out for that stuff. Even in my teens, I hired various coaches, and we would just do these coaching sessions, and I would go and see her probably once every 6 weeks, I think, and I would always look back at the previous 6 weeks before that, and I would go, wow, like I actually achieved and created everything that we talked about in the previous session. And she wasn't really sitting there giving me action steps or practical advice, it was more just the conversation. And so I'd often walk out and I'd feel like, oh, you know, I didn't really get a plan or anything like that. But then I would look back at the end of that 6 week period or 2 months before I'd see her again, and I'd realize, but everything we talked about and that I said I wanted was brought to life. Do you go with the flow and do you do what you feel like doing each day just as and when you do it, or do you kind of kick your own ass and follow some sort of discipline or routine? I think it comes down to, you've got to look at what the end goal is. You've got to fast forward mentally to go, okay, well, what is the outcome that I wish to achieve? Like, what would an aligned and successful and kick-ass business and life look like when I am doing what I love, making the money that I want to make, sharing my true message, reaching the level of fame and impact and all that stuff, and then have that end goal in mind, and then from there bring it into the here and now, and basically ask yourself, well, what is the action that I therefore need to take? Who do I need to be today in order to create that? Okay, what's my minimum level of daily content, daily sales activity, lead generation or visibility activity, any paid content that needs to be created for my paid programs, and then client interaction, social media interaction, staff interaction, admin and emails and that sort of thing, and there's a couple of other things on that list. But that's like a checklist, which I largely do ignore, like I was mentioning earlier when I talked with Jen. But from time to time, I will check in on it, and I'm just kind of loosely aware of it. So if at any time I feel like I don't really know what to do, or am I doing enough, I have to kind of say to myself, no, you know, that's not true. Like, stop kidding yourself. Just follow the plan. From the point of view of somebody who gets interviewed a lot and who creates a lot of trainings, but also who listens to a lot of trainings, the ones that are the highest value are the ones that come from the heart, and you can feel that, and they're not overly planned or pre-prepared. So I guess it's like a lot of areas of business where it's about trusting in yourself and trusting that you've got value to share, and that it doesn't have to be structured in advance. I'm gonna go do a workout and have a sauna, and maybe do some content in the sauna, because I like to make the most of my time. All right, so this is Anchor. Anchor is like the new social media platform. I interviewed Gary Vee on the weekend, and he said that Anchor is going to be one of the next big things, which therefore means Anchor is going to be the next big thing. It's annoying because if the upload fails, then it doesn't save it, and you just wasted your 2 minutes. I know you guys are not going to hear me, but I'm just going to periscope for a little bit. Kind of awkward to train and film live at the same time. But say hi, because I'm having my rest right now, so I'm actually here and talking. And just wanted to give you a little insight into what we're doing and into what's happening with the show, and just make sure you know what's going on, make sure you know what's up. Hey Deborah. Trying to, like, every time you go for a needle at the doctor, they're like, whoa, I could pay.
I guess you get really excited too. They're like, oh man, you'd be the best day. They got off on it, like, really?
Veins everywhere. Getting shit done, and I don't like to be unproductive, so sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So usually I do live stream in the sauna while I'm just sitting in the corner, or I've run webinars in here to like 60 people, or I do client calls, or I speak to my mentors. I'm going to speak to my mentor in a minute actually, but we'll keep that off camera. I'll do a little Snapchat now. Hey Snapchat, I am in the sauna. I just did my workout and going to get into hustle mode now. Detox and sweat at the same time. Keep on grinding.